what or who is standing in the way of excellence, and what is your recipe for decisive improvement?
Before you said that we have to give honest answers and bold answers. First of all, I don't like always to start with this complex question. We shouldn't have a complexity. We shouldn't have a complex in the region that we are not able to perform creatively. I agree with you that we want to do more and we want to deliver a better creative product, but in the last 5 years, so many of the advertising agencies in the region were able to compete on a global platform. Let's not always start that we are falling behind and we are not able to do anything and we are not delivering a creative product. Now, do we need to do better? Yes, the answer is yes. And what's stopping us from doing better? In my opinion, it's a determination that takes two. It's the advertising agencies and their partners, the clients. We need to be able to take some risks. We need to be courageous and try new things and not always play it safe. And this is a challenge that each advertising agency has to deal with and has to deal with their clients. Because sometimes we have some bold creative ideas, and here I have to be very honest, that are stopped by some clients who want to be conservative. They worry about what the brand stands for, not knowing that innovation and bold moves can bring some fresh air and reflect positively on the brand.
The problem is, I think, what we call challenge analysis. It's economy of scale versus economies of excellence. And I think the parallel media, where it played a big role in many respects that are extremely positive, but it also basically forced us to go through the lowest common denominator throughout the region. And that's why I call it economy of scale versus economies of excellence. Because if you look at the best work coming from that region, really I think Egypt in particular, because it's Egyptian writing for Egyptians with these particular insight and peculiar insight that belong to the culture. And by going very much parallel, I think that economy of scale really curtailed a lot of the creativity in the region. That's one aspect. The second aspect, I believe, is basically courage and culture. And that leads us to the other, your second question today, which is understanding the culture is deeply, feeling comfortable with that culture, which automatically allows you to be more courageous in the ideas you push forward. And many times, and this is where I said the client, fair share for the client, many times you have the client who basically, and we know that in the Middle East is quite a transit lounge for clients, they are not so familiar with the culture and therefore they go the safest route. Thirdly, we seem to be totally held hostage by the religious conservatives, which more or less represent 20 to 25% of the region, and we tend to not cater for that 75%, which are the strivers, the liberals, and etc. And I think these are the 3 points that I would like to mention.
Creativity is like addressing mercury. I mean, it never goes in that. But if I am to blame anybody, if I am to blame anything for anything at all to creativity, I'll have to pass it on to the client, not the agency, and that is to say it the way it is. And I think Ogilvy once said, I mean, the consumer is not the world, she's your housewife, right? She's your wife. And this is where actually, I'm back again, is that we try to tend, and most of the clients become suddenly brand protectors and custodians of their own brands, and they get into those limitations of that framework that they cannot get out of. Suddenly, procurement comes on top, and then suddenly every single idea that the agency comes up with, or anybody comes up with creatively, becomes a butcher shop, meaning everyone gets a piece out of it, and then suddenly it becomes an idea as well. And then we go back to the normal. So, to make the point, the thing that I can never understand in our area, and I'm addressing our area more specifically, is that when we come to luxury brands, everybody expects you and expects the consumer to understand exactly what they are talking about. They have to understand Louis Vuitton, and of course they have to understand, of course, we give the image, we give the brand, they have to understand products, and they have to understand or multi-gay and what have you. But when it comes to something specific to the housewife, or to the consumer, and the FMCG, we treat them as normal. And this is where it becomes really frustrating altogether. They do not allow themselves to understand what the consumers are about. And what we see today around us, every single survey we conduct, every single research we conduct, people are different. Youngsters think differently. The housewife is a youngster. Is not anymore a 50-year-old that doesn't know how to wash or how to clean. She is a housewife that is 25-year-old, 22-year-old, and she knows everything there is to know. She is on Facebook every day. So why are we still backward? This is where I have to bring the time on that.
Well, first, I'm very happy that my colleagues have actually expressed a lot of my thoughts. But I would like to add that we have a very important factor to add in to what you said, and that is the consumer itself. And our consumers, specifically non-international, if you like, we have our own peculiarities. And if you are judging our creativity from an international point of view, it becomes very difficult unless if you understand our consumer and our people. And I think what's happening today in the Arab world, in the region, in terms of upheaval, is trying to bring people together closer. Because even within our mass consumers, there are differences between the groups, and it's very difficult to address each one of them, reach, if you like, creatively the target audience in the best way. I think what's happening today in Egypt, what's happening today in probably Tunis, what's happening even in places which is the lower, the medium, and the upper class. And that's very important, because even then, and that's probably why I said fair to the fairness to the if you like to the I felt that the client is fairly responsible and not totally responsible. He's not getting proper data, or sufficient data, if you like. The research continues to be, in my opinion, way backward compared to anywhere else in the world, where you can get your hand on the pulse even second by second. And here, we're trying to collect sometimes historical data, which is, in my opinion, totally misleading.
When I disagree with my friend Akram. It's not the research that will tell us what to do, in my opinion, when it comes to creativity. It's being connected to the people. It's leaving our offices as creators, because we agree that we have to be very honest today. We sit in our offices and we assume that we know the people down there, and we know their aspirations, and sometimes we base it on some research that is either done in a conference room or it's done in a round table or whatever. In my opinion, creators, strategic planners should go down to the market, be it in Cairo, or be it in Beirut, or in Saudi Arabia, or anywhere else. We need to go and observe. We need to live with the people. We need to listen. We need to engage in conversation and understand what are their aspirations. What we have done, for example, last year, we started doing a one-to-one research. It's not the normal way of doing the research. It's going and looking at the change in trends, sitting in their environment, talking to them, asking questions, and then come back and fuel this into a creative brief that will come out with huge, big ideas that will connect with people, creativity that will transform human behavior. Why? Because it's coming from them. The insights are coming straight from them. How many messages are taking place in one moment, at one moment in time? So we need to understand that people and creative and the agency and management have to embrace this change and change the mindset. And this, we have to start with a creative, big idea, but we need to be able to connect it with people wherever they are. And we need to break the old tools whereby we need to do a TV or we need to do a press or whatever. We have to start from a neutral base. Whatever it takes to take this idea and communicate with the people and make a difference in the lives of people and create a bond between the brand and the people, we have to follow it, regardless of the challenge. So the mindset is we need to transform, and this is what we are doing. And I think, as they were discussing yesterday and this morning, we don't know what the future is bringing to us. Even if you ask anyone who is a specialized digital person today, in this digital world that we are living, social digital world that we are living, nobody can tell you what will be the case in 5 years down the road. So we're changing, we're transforming, we are embracing the change, and this happens through definitely talents, tools who are ready and who understand the language and who can speak the language.
Okay. Look, I have to interrupt you. I just need to ask one thing, because I asked you the question, you focused on your own agency groups, and that was the way I asked the question. Are you happy with the amount of, and I'll use Akram's word, re-engineering that's taking place in the region? Is there enough, and is it happening fast enough? Joseph. Quickly, I mean, this can be 1 or 2 sentences.
Look, I mean, this is yes, exactly.
More or less than in the West?
No less in the West, more from the area that we are in, because of, first of all, I mean, you want to do so much at the end of the day, but there are economic factors that really apply. And you cannot really do whatever you want to do. I mean, today, if you wanted to do anything in Egypt, this has delayed you by at least 6 months. If you wanted to do anything in Bahrain or Tunisia, this has delayed you by probably a year. So actually, yes, there is a lot of it happening. But there are factors that are determining, I mean, that are not in your control, that are determining what can be changed and what can be developed.
Okay, Roy?
I think it's a full of change, and it's an exciting change, and effectively a lot of us misread the streets. And this is what I find fascinating, how much we basically thought that everybody is a potato couch in the Middle East, where...
Are we in the advertising industry, those that run the agencies, are we as bold in terms of running our business as those people on the street are?
Frankly, I think the ambition is, but we go back to basically to the first question.
That's why I asked it first.
But that's why we go back. I think there is, the markets are ready, but are basically, is the industry ready? That would be my question.
What would get it ready?
I said it in the beginning, more courage and a better understanding of the culture.
Okay, Raja.
I think it's happening.
Does it took courage to get to these speeds?
Enough, fast enough?
It's happening in my opinion, at a reasonable speed.
Reasonable.
Joe talked about it. We want definitely more, but we have to understand the dynamics around us, the economical dynamics around us, which is in one way or another is slowing the process a little bit. We need to understand that today we're living in an environment where all the clients want more for less. We are dealing now with procurement rather than marketing people. And when we are put under pressure, no matter what we are, no matter what we do, it's going to slow the process. But are we moving? Yes, determined.
We're coming from Akram, and then if you want to say something.
You know, it goes back to my issue with knowledge. Have our leaders been thoughtful enough to see the knowledge, to get the knowledge, to pulse for people and to see what is the word of the people, we would not have been where we are. Everybody would have been sized up. And I think, had that information been available to the agencies, we would have known and we would have been calibrated.
Gentlemen, do you think the agencies are better at taking the pulse of the client than...
Consumerism, if you like, in this market, is going to be incredible in this part of the world. Because, just one more second, because we are here against larger challenges for a creative person than anywhere else.
The guy said it all, and I agree with them. I want to add something new to it, which is, for God's sake, stay here, stop copying, start writing cultural creativity that will make a difference, not only in award shows, but in the hearts of people. I think this is important. When we came in, Roy asked me a question. He said, did you go around? I said, yes. He said, are there enough cultural material to look at? Relevance, cultural relevance. And I said, judge for yourself. So my message is, write for the people in the region.
Okay.